This photograph shows that tracks in houses can leave patterns in the ground. Plowing often smooths them out. But the drawing below shows that the pattern can reappear in a field of growing crops. This is because the depth of the soil affects their height, enclosure and poverty. Think about the changes in the countryside. 1. Look at source D. Can you see any signs of villages that have disappeared? 2. Sheep eat up men. What do you think people meant by this in Tudor times? The hunt for food. Pretend that you live in a town in Tudor times and discuss how you feel about country people who come begging for food or asking for work. Windsor attracted many people and began to turn into a small town. This was partly because the castle there needed many workers. This map was drawn in the early 17th century. Wales had once been a separate country, but the English had conquered it, treating it like a part of England. Many of the people were sheep farmers living high up in the hills. They turned the sheep's wool into clothes for themselves, and they also sold cloth to English merchants. Sometimes the English treated the Welsh unfairly, making them sell the cloth to English merchants at very low prices. The Welsh also sold coal, metal and stone mined from their mountains. Like farming, mining was usually done by families. Sometimes the miners found the coal and rock at the surface, but usually they had to dig pits. There might be 2 men chipping away at the coal or rock with axes and putting the pieces into a barrel. Other men then had to haul the full barrel out of the pit. Source F. Welsh villages working in a coal mine. Work and trade. 1. Look at source E. Describe the goods that the Welsh imported and exported. 2. Wool was in great demand in England and Wales, but Welsh sheep farmers did not become rich. Why not? 3. Describe the work shown in source F. Transporting coal and other goods was difficult because of the mountains. Wealthy people burnt coal to keep warm, but they bought it from mines very near their homes. Stone and coal from mines near the sea were carried by boat, and Wales had some very busy ports. These Tudor archers are using crossbows. Even the poor had some time for leisure. Village youths played a very rough ball game. They formed 2 teams, then they fought their way across the countryside, with each team trying to get the ball to a different place, and in, perhaps. A Tudor writer called Sir Thomas Elyot wrote about the players' injuries. Sometimes their necks are broken, sometimes their backs, sometimes their legs, sometimes their arms. The game is nothing but beastly fury and extreme violence. Archery became a popular outdoor sport for both rich and poor. The targets set up in a field were called butts. We still use the word when we say that someone is the butt or target of an unkind joke. The word butt is also used in the names of some roads or districts, while the poor shot at targets. The rich went hunting. There were royal forests that were full of deer and other game. Hunting was often followed by feasting. Games. Read the description of games played in Tudor times. 1. Men had to practice with bows and arrows. Why do you think this was? Read Thomas Elyot's description of a ball game and the descriptions of other violent games. 2. Elyot said that the ball game should be banned, but this did not happen. It has developed into 2 modern games. Can you think what they are? 3. Some wrestlers wore hard shoes. Try to think of a reason for this. Local history. What can you find out from local guidebooks? Local history books, maps and records from courts and libraries. 1. Is there a road or district near where you live that has "but" in its name? What might have happened there in Tudor times? You could look at street guides and maps. 2. Find out about trade and industry in your area. Which trades or industries could date from Tudor times? Look for clues to support your ideas. Other violent games included fighting with sticks, boxing and wrestling. Rich people also enjoyed sword fights and jousting.